Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another vlogmas video. Today we're talking empties. I want to go through all the products I used up in 2023 and see how many I was able to use up, let you guys know what I thought about them, if I've repurchased them, and just give you guys a few thoughts per product. Unfortunately, I messed up, and after my first empties video this year, I threw away the products. And I meant to hold on to the actual makeup empties to be able to show you today. So I just decided not to keep them this year and we're just gonna roll with it. So I'm actually going to just pop a picture up of each category as we talk about them so you guys can see the products. But yeah, sorry about that, but I definitely did not mean to do that. I will try to remember to do a little bit better next year. So I'm gonna scoot over here so that I can pop a picture up per category as we talk about them, but let's jump in with my strongest category, which was mascara. I used up 6 mascaras in the last year, and now that we're getting closer to the end of the year, I do have some that I'm really close to using up, but I'm still enjoying all of them, so I'm not going to just count them as empty just because. So they will be moved into my empties bin very early in 2024. Likely in January, I will have 2 that I'm adding, but for the 6 that I used up this mini of the Tartelette C mascara, and I don't know if it's just the mini, but it was awful. The product itself was like so clumped onto the brush that it basically had one bristle. Like it was just like a whole mascara wand full of product, and it really was just awful. So I would not suggest that one. Like I said, I don't know if it was just because it was a mini, but I could not suggest it, especially based on that. Next up, I used up the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara. I did not like this one as much as I used to in high school. I know this one is so hyped up and it's honestly a classic at this point, but I felt like it was just kind of okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't my favorite. I do love the next one though, which is the Essence Lash Princess, and I specifically used up the sculpted volume version of it, which I do really like that one. I think the Essence mascaras are a good option, but I will say that I have recently found ones that I think are better. Specifically, the last mascara I'm going to mention, I think really gives the Essence mascaras a run for its money. But next up, I did use up a high-end mascara, which was the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. That is my favorite mascara to date. I still love that one over anything else. I do have some right now in my collection that are open that I'm liking almost as much, but that Ilia one, like every time I come back to it, I just always love it more. Hot tip with that one is to get the mini size, because I found that the large size actually dried out before I could use it up, but the mini size lasts me for just as long. I usually don't like to keep a mascara open longer than 3 to 6 months, depending on how the mascara seems to be performing, but I really try to take my eye health very safe. So I really try to be cautious with the health of my eyes. So I really stick to the lifeline of a mascara, like stick with it. So I prefer to get the mini of the Ilia one and just use it that way. But I love the mini size. The mini is not a dud like the Tarte one was, but that is my kind of hot tip with that one, is to just pick up the mini size. It will last you for 3 to 6 months, especially if you have a couple other ones open. I don't see any reason to pick up the full size version personally. Next up, I used up another drugstore mascara. This was the Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational. I specifically picked this one up in the shade brown because I wanted a brown mascara, but it was again just kind of so-so. I've never really found, at least in the last couple of years, a brown mascara that has wowed me, so just okay. Nothing to write home about on that one. But this last one is so good. This is the one I mentioned really gave the Essence mascara a run for its money, and this is the LA Colors Biggie Lash Mascara. It is beautiful. This will give you the most dramatic looking lashes. It's a tubing mascara, so it's gonna last really well throughout the day, but you can actually remove it just with warm water, which is such a game changer if you guys have had bad experiences with like a waterproof mascara being really hard to get off the lashes, or if you struggle with transferring or smudging. I think this is a really great option. It's under $5. It's such a good formula. I need to pick that one up again because I do actually miss having that in my collection. But those are the 6 mascaras that I used up this year. I feel like this past year has just kind of been so-so for mascaras until I got the last set that's in my collection right now that's open, and especially that LA Colors one. That one was like the check mark of the year. I really liked the Ilia one. It's like my favorite, but to find that LA Colors one was such a game changer, and my friend Diana sent me that, so I will forever be grateful for her introducing me to that mascara. Such a good one. I actually used up 7 mascaras. I forgot to mention this one, but this is the Tower 28 mascara that everyone has been talking about this year, the Make Waves mascara. I also agree with the hype. I gotta say, I loved this one. So between this and the LA Colors, these are my 2 favorite new finds of the year, but the Ilia one is still like my very, very favorite. But I really did enjoy having this in my collection as well. So yes, I actually used up 7 mascaras. I forgot, but you would have seen it on the screen here. I realized it towards the end of filming this video. So, okay, moving along to eyeliner. I actually only used up 1 eyeliner completely this year, and that was a really good accomplishment. It took me forever to use it up, but it is the NYX Gilded Taupe eyeliner. This was in my project pan. You guys have probably heard me talk about it a lot. I loved that eyeliner. I think they've since discontinued it. And had I known that, I feel like maybe I would have held on to it longer, but I am glad that I used it and used it up because it was getting a little bit older in my collection. So yeah, just the 1 eyeliner this year. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you like the look that I have on right now, my makeup look, I did actually post a video of how I created this 1 week ago last Thursday. I will link that down below for you guys if you want to check it out. But moving right along, the next category is eyeshadow primer. So I used up the NYX Glitter Glue Primer, which is kind of like an eyeshadow primer, but you just put it on like for shimmer shades. I love that one. I've already repurchased it. I feel like I talk about it all the time, but I really think that especially if you have trouble with creasing with shimmer shades on your eyelids, this is a really good product to pick up, or if you want to avoid some glitter fallout on the face or just make your shadows look a little bit more punchy and shimmery, I think that this is a really great product. It's very affordable too. Next up for face primers, I used up 4 face primers this year. So first up was the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. I had a little mini of it and it took me a long time to use it up, so I'm really glad that I finally used this one up. I did really like it. It helps your makeup last like a long time. It's great for if you're gonna be outside, especially in the heat. That was like my saving grace product last year when we were out in the summer heat all the time, but for day to day, I don't feel like it's really necessary for my skin type, especially because I do have dry skin, but I could see people with oily skin really liking that primer a lot. It's just a little bit too high end for my budget personally. I'd rather spend that money on a different category because I really like drugstore primers typically. The next 3 primers are drugstore primers and they're ones I love. So the Milani Skin Quench, I really like this one. It's a little bit thicker of a formula, so if that's not your thing, you probably won't like it, but once you really work with it and like blend it and work it into your skin, it's very, very hydrating. So if you have dry skin, I really recommend that one. Again, for dry skin, I love the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Primer. I miss that in my collection. It smells so good. It's just nice and hydrating. It's a great base underneath different makeup products. I don't really ever have any problems with it, like breaking up foundations when I put them on top of that primer. I love that one. I really need to pick that one up again. It's so good. And then the last primer I used up is my current favorite primer. It's the Wet n Wild Glass Correct Primer. I have one of these in my collection already again, and I've already used up about half of the second one. So this is my favorite primer at the moment. It happens to be drugstore. It's like $7. It's such a great one, and I really, really suggest it. It will give you glass skin. It looks so pretty. I used it today. I use it almost every day, and it's great, and it's only $7. It's such a good deal. But yeah, that was the last primer I used up in 2023. Moving on to foundation, I used up 3 different foundations. The first one was the Thrive Cosmetics CC Cream. I had that one in my collection for a while, and I was really glad to use it up. I have mentioned this before, but I don't really plan to repurchase a lot from Thrive. I don't know what it is about the brand, but well, I do. It's like the marketing and I felt like they were constantly like just begging me for compliments to them in my DMs and stuff, and I just like, I don't know. I don't really want to be like picking up products because of that. Like anytime I would share it, that was the experience I had. So yeah, I'm glad to use that up. It was the last Thrive product I had in my collection. So I hate that because I do like what the brand stands for, and I like their packaging and their products. Now they are pretty expensive, at least some of their products are, but I did really like that CC cream. I enjoyed using it up. It has a little bit of SPF in it, which is really nice. So the product itself I do really like, but I have no plans to repurchase it because of everything I just mentioned. So yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer, and it's just a personal experience that I would just rather find something else. The next product I used up was the Purito BB cream. I love this one. I've already repurchased it. That was the second one I had used up of that product. I think it's such a great product. I love it so much. I actually think my most viewed video was reviewing that BB cream, so that's kind of cool, but I really love that one. It's just such a great BB cream. So yeah, used that one up. I've already repurchased it and I'm still enjoying it. Then another one I used up, I missed this one. I would have used it today if I had still had it in my collection. I kind of want it again, but it was the Kokie Skin Perfect HD foundation. This was such a beautiful one. I really missed this in my collection, like I said, and I could not recommend it enough. I think it would work for so many different skin types. It was just a beautiful, creamy, medium coverage concealer. It was a beautiful, creamy, and medium coverage foundation that I would suggest to anyone. I love the packaging of that and especially the price point as well. Moving on to concealers, I used up 3 concealers this year. The first one was such an accomplishment. I used up the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. If you guys are not familiar with that one, it is the size of half of a typical bottle of foundation. So it's 0.5 fluid ounces in that container, which is just so much. It is over double the size of your average concealer, and that one took me forever to use up, but it's such a good concealer. I do kind of miss it in my collection from time to time, but overall I enjoy trying new products. And given that that one took me I think it took me 2.5 years to use it up, I don't necessarily want to put it back in my collection. Even though it's such a good value, I just like to try new things. So for now, I don't have any plans to repurchase it, but I would suggest it, especially for the value and especially for how much product is in there, which kind of goes hand in hand with the value. But the formula of it is incredible too. It's a pretty high coverage and I really enjoyed using it up. I also used up the Pure Cosmetics 4-in-1 Sculptor Concealer. I do really like that one. That was a pretty good concealer, but again, I don't have any plans to repurchase it. I have a couple favorites in my collection that I would repurchase. Like I would repurchase the Rare Beauty one or the Flower Beauty one, but the Pure one I do really like, but I don't know that I love it enough to go through another bottle of it, kind of for the same reasons as the Too Faced one. I liked the Too Faced one a little bit more than the Pure Cosmetics though. Then I used up the Catrice True Skin High Coverage Concealer. This is a really good concealer as well. I think it's a great dupe for a lot of high-end concealers, and I would suggest it again if you guys are looking for a nice high coverage concealer. I don't know value-wise how it compares to Too Faced. It's a good price point, but just keep in mind that there's so much product in the Too Faced one. So I don't necessarily feel like you need to try and find a cheaper alternative to the Too Faced one if you're kind of in it for the long haul and you want to invest in one that's going to last you for a long time. But if you're wanting to just spend less dollars like right now to purchase one, I would suggest the Catrice one as a nice alternative to the Too Faced concealer. For setting sprays, I used up 2. So the first one was the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. This one is a classic. I've got some fuzz going around, but the Urban Decay All Nighter is such a classic setting spray. I feel like this is a setting spray that most of us used when we first started using one. It's a good staple one, but I don't have any plans to repurchase it again. But one that is very new, this is my newest empty, is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and I finally have used this up. I think I've got about 1 more use in it. But to be fair, I'm pre-filming this, and as I'm filming this right now, it's actually just December 1st, so this will most definitely be used up by the end of the year because I literally have 1 more use out of it. So I'm counting it as empty for this video. Any empties that I have somehow between now and the end of the year, I don't think I will because I'm not really that close to using anything up, but I will just have to kind of add that in with next year, I guess, and roll it over or let you guys know one way or the other. So yeah, I don't have any plans to finish up anything else by the end of the year, but this was the closest one in my collection to being empty. I love that one. I will repurchase it. I still have the travel size in my collection, so I'll probably start working my way through that one. And then I think I'll purchase the large one, the value size. It's $50 for the bottle, but it's even bigger than this one, and I could always add some of that to the travel size one when I need it for traveling. So that's my plan with the setting spray, but yeah, I love the Charlotte Tilbury one, so good. Okay, for lip products, I used up 4 lip products. I feel like I never go through lip products, but I'm glad to see I did use up 4. So the first one was a little mini gloss. This was the Kaja lip gloss in the shade Rosy Mocha. This is such a good formula. It's still my favorite lip gloss formula, but I do prefer their other shade in that one, called Milk Tea. It's a little bit lighter and it goes with more things in my opinion, but such a great formula. The Kaja gloss shots are amazing. I love that they're not sticky, but they're still glossy. They don't have any shimmers in them, or at least the ones that I've tried, and I think they just make your lips look so juicy and plump. I also used up the Slip Shine lipstick from Fenty. This was in the shade Cookies and Cocoa, and for some reason, as I used that one, like, the longer I used it, the more I noticed like a weird taste about it, which looking back, maybe it had gone bad, but I didn't feel like I had it for that long. I don't know. But I finally did use that one up. I liked it a lot when I first got it, but then for some reason, either my preferences changed or it just, maybe the newness wore off, but it wasn't as amazing as I had remembered it being, and I was glad to use it up. So I don't plan to repurchase that one, but I think it was a good product. I think maybe my preferences just weren't really that sort of a product anymore. Then I used up two favorite products. I used up the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in Pillow Talk. I was so excited to use this one up. It's such a great lipstick. I love that one. I currently actually have this tiny little mini now of the same product that I got from Sephora with purchase of something else. I think it might have been, I think I got this with either a Point Perk or something. I don't know. I ended up with a little mini. Now I've forgotten. But I'm gonna just go ahead and use up the mini before I repurchase it. But I will likely repurchase the full size once I use this one up. It's so, so pretty. This also makes a really, really great gift. If you guys are wanting to find a gift, I have a gift guide. I'll link that below for you guys. But I mentioned that lipstick. I think that lipstick makes like the best makeup gift. And then the last lip product that I used up was the NYX lip liner in Nude Suede Shoes. And my husband was very sweet and like went and pulled pictures of all these products for me to be able to show you here right now. So that was a huge help. So thank you, Matt. Thank you so much. But he noticed that it's not for sale anymore. And I'm like, did they discontinue the Nude Suede Shoes lip liner? I'm gonna be so upset if they did. I might actually go to Ulta tomorrow and just see if it's there, because I can't even believe it until I see it in person. I can't, because I've probably used up like 5 of them at this point. So if that is true, I guess that's going to be an end of an era for me, because it was just my favorite like go-to lip liner when I didn't know what else to use. That's gonna be such a bummer. And then my last category is brows. So I only used up 2 brow products, but one of these took me forever. But before we talk about that one, the first one I used up was the e.l.f. Wow Brow in the shade Brunette. I do really like this product. It's $5. It's a great brow product, and I'll probably repurchase it at some point. I really like the shade Brunette. The one I had before that, I forgot what it was called, but it was one of the lighter ones. But the shade Brunette, I feel like looked a lot more natural in my brows, and I liked that it was slightly darker as well. So I liked that one. The other brow product I used up was also from e.l.f., and it was the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. You know what? Now that I'm saying that, I'm missing one, and it was the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Have I not even filmed that yet? I better go look. I had these 2 in my empties bin. I haven't filmed yet. Okay, so I actually used up 3 brow products. I was like, wait a minute, I used up that brow gel. Yes, so I still have this one in my collection, in my empties bin at least. But the brow product that I was mentioning that took me forever to use up was the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. I had that for so long and I worked to use it up. Finally used it up, and I was saying I will never put another eyebrow pencil in my collection. I had gotten so used to using the brow pencil in like the last half to 3/4 of my brow that then I really missed it. So I ended up picking up one from NYX, but the e.l.f. one was really good. I just wanted to try something different because it took me like 2.5 years to use up that pencil at least. So I wasn't that committed to it. I wanted to try something new. But the brow product I forgot about adding to this list, because I haven't filmed it in an actual empties video yet. It was still in my empties bin, is the Clear Brow Gel from Anastasia. This is such a good value. Again, I've had this for a long time and I've been using it for a long time. Their mini is like $9 and it will last you for quite a while as well. Their full size, I think, is about $20 something, and it will last you like for a long time. So very good value here, and I really did enjoy that one. Okay, so in total I used up 28 makeup products this year. I feel like I used up way more last year. Like, I want to say I used up double last year. I'm gonna have to go back and see how many I used last year, because that seemed super low to me. But I also had just like a super tragic loss in my life this year, and so makeup has been so much on the back burner that I just like, this makes sense, you know? And I think it's just something to note, like, buying 26 products is so much easier than using up 26 products. You know, you can go into the store and think like, oh, I like this color, I like this, I like that. But the commitment of getting the product and then using it up completely is a lot. Like, I used up 26 products in an entire year. A lot of those are mascaras that you can't really use. Well, I don't feel like I can use comfortably and safely for, a super long period of time. But like, take the brow pencil that took me over 2 years easily to finish up, or a lipstick that took me 3 years to use up. These products take a long time to work through, so this is a really good reminder for me looking back on a year of empties. I hope that it is for you guys as well. I don't mean for this to be like an overwhelming sensation if you're looking at your collection to think about how much you have, but it does help me to buy less when I think like that. So that might help you guys moving forward if you're trying to kind of cut back on some makeup spending. But don't feel like that's a reason to declutter your collection. I think that over excessive decluttering can also cause a huge problem, because if you're just getting rid of it so that you don't feel guilty about having it, the person you're giving it to might now also feel overwhelmed. So take a step back and try to just really appreciate your collection and maybe not pull in so much new stuff, but just kind of work through what you already have. I also did a declutter like chopping block video in November that I'll link below for you guys, because that one I feel like can change your perspective on the collection that you have. So I'll link a couple videos below if that will help you guys out. I'll link that one, as well as a video talking about ways to get out of a makeup rut, just sharing some things like that I think would be very helpful after talking about a video like this, where we're kind of discussing how much makeup we're actually using up in a year. For me, this is a pretty low amount, and so I'm a little surprised, but I think it makes sense based on the year that I've had. Makeup has not been on the forefront of my mind for the majority of the year. So I think it makes sense, and that's okay. But yeah, overall, I just kind of wanted to take a look at all the products I've used up over the last year and share that with you guys. So I hope that you guys did enjoy today's video. I will try to not throw away my makeup empties next year until the end of the year when I have the chance to film this video, but hopefully the photos on the screen were kind of good enough for this go around. So thank you guys for understanding with that, but I appreciate you guys watching today's video. If you did like it, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also be sure to subscribe to my channel. I have noticed that a lot of people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you're enjoying my channel, I would really love for you to hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. It will help me and my channel out, but it will also help you out by showing you my videos more often, because you've shown YouTube that you like my channel enough to subscribe. So thank you guys so much if you do choose to subscribe, and thank you guys for your support on my videos and especially on my vlogmas videos. But I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. Bye.